I call to order the City of Gerald regular called City Council meeting Tuesday, August 6th, 2024 at 7 p.m. We're going to start with the roll call. All members are present. Next, we are going to have an invocation of Pledge of Allegiance led by Pastor Kevin Ross.
Pray with me. Heavenly Father, we come to you now and we ask, Lord, for your guidance. We ask, Lord, for your divine justice, Lord. We ask, Lord, for your goodness and your wisdom. We ask, God, that our wills be pointed towards righteousness and that through peace and unity we can accomplish, Lord, your goals for this community, that you may be glorified. In the name of Jesus Christ, we do pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the next item on the agenda is public comments. We have 3 here. First one is Rusty Bryson. Do you want to speak now or?
I'll speak now.
Okay, that works.
It's a general thing.
All right.
Hello, Mayor and Council. Thank you for allowing me to speak very briefly. I want to tell you that I have studied the budget, and as a longtime Gerald resident, for those of you who have participated in this, I'm extremely pleased with what you have to present to us. It's very obvious that Danielle has led our city greatly. If you look at the difference between last year and this year, it's amazing. And so I commend you for that. I commend you for doing the rate study. I commend you for looking at our streets. Old Town is in desperate need of road repair and drainage. So anyway, I appreciate what you all have done. Those of you who have been here and have served the citizens. So anyway, great job.
All right, the next one is Celicia Bickham and Whitney Hicks.
Hi.
Hi.
We are here. I'm Whitney, this is Lucia, and this is Cheryl. This is a right-hand lady of hers from Imagination Play Space. This is the owner of Imagination Play Space, and I am the owner of Kids Zone Learning Centers throughout Carroll. And we have emailed, and I'm sure y'all are kind of prefaced with this, about Proposition 2, which is y'all know what it is. So, we just wanted to put a face with the name, and I also commend on the budget. I know that we are in budget discussions and all of the things right now, and so it's a little bit late, possibly this year for Proposition 2. However, we want to plead our case anyway, because we are drowning, and Spalacia is going to take over there, but thank you for listening to us.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to speak council. And I just kind of want to touch a little bit on Proposition 2. So earlier this year, legislation passed Proposition 2. And so some of the eligibility requirements of that was that a child care facility had to be a Texas Rising Star facility and accept child care subsidy through the Texas Workforce Commission. The Texas Rising Star program is a quality rating and improvement system that encourages child care and early learning programs to attain progressively higher levels of quality in care and early childhood interactions and development. It's a tier level program requiring high levels of staff and administrative performance and quality classroom environments. The point of all that is that the child cares in Gerald are doing that. Imagination Play Space is a Texas Rising Star facility. Kids Zone is a Texas Rising Star facility. Both facilities, as well as Trinidad Lyell, Joanna Floss, I'm standing in for her tonight as well. We are all Texas Rising Star facilities, and we accept child care subsidy as well. I'm also a licensed realtor in the area, so I talk to a lot of families, and that's the first thing that I get asked is, well, what type of programs do you have for children? After-school programs, enrichment programs, youth programs, and what is your daycare like? So both Whitney and I, we're enrolling, and there's more and more families coming, and I know I would like to expand. I know she's expanded as well, but the financial strain is great. We also would like to be able to be competitive in the employment market and continue to compensate our staff. Many of the staff they're working long hours. They absolutely want to be able to retain them and remain competitive in the employment industry. Several of our facilities in Gerald are experiencing the same issues: high turnover due to low wages, staff burnout, high operational expenses, and ability to expand due to financial constraints. I thank you for your time and listening to our proposal for the adoption of Proposition 2. We hope that in presenting this request, that it is seen favorable and understood that the child care industry is currently under much financial pressure, and an exemption of such not only gives us hope for continuing, but will inspire us to continue to advocate for what's best for the children and families of our city.
And there is a couple of cities in Livingston County that have also adopted it already. And so, we have both applied at the county level, but it's not changed, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Elizabeth Exley.
Hi,
Come on up.
I'm not speaking on something on the proposition or anything.
Good.
I'm gonna start.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
You're just the next one to speak.
Is it possible for me to get a question and answer before I start?
We're not really supposed to.
Okay, because I just don't know if I understood things correctly. So my name is Elizabeth Bexley, and I'm a beekeeper here in Gerald. I've been a beekeeper for almost 20 years. I moved up here about 5 years ago from Georgetown, after being there for 25 years. We just got a letter from TCEQ about them building a new sewage station literally a quarter-mile north of our backyard. Our bees are organic, and so is our pecan orchard. And it's literally going to dump into our little flood zone on the pecan orchard. So we are very against that. And I didn't know what to do, and I know that I responded to TCEQ's website and said I will comment, but I thought I'd come to y'all too because y'all obviously have the zoning, and I know y'all have some other avenues to maybe answer this. The other concern too is besides the possible, it'll ruin my business, one thing, so, because then I'm no longer organic and there's not much I can do to change that. The other thing is we have the possible property value. It'll affect that, the smells alone. So I have like 10 different things that I wanted to kind of bring up, and y'all might not be the right, group, but I think y'all can possibly do something to it, and I'd like y'all to consider relocating them to a much more rural area, because there's at least, I guess 4 or 5 families that are in that initial dump zone. That will be affected, and that's literally right off of I-35 in County Road 304, and that's my exit. So I would just ask that y'all consider something that y'all can do to, if my understanding is correct, there's something right there at the top of North Arlington Ford, North Arlington Ford Creek, to move them further to a much more rural area instead of that area. So that's my main understanding as far as I know. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you. Okay, the next item on the agenda is agenda item number 3, public hearings. So agenda item 3.1, we're to open up public hearing for the consideration and possible action on the annexation of 79.1 acres out of the Alicia Davis survey, number 23, abstract number 172, situated in Livingston County. Gordon?
Mayor and council, this is the annexation that we called for last month. It is 80 acres right across from the Hunter's Glen subdivision. Two of the biggest questions we always get asked is water, wastewater. The water is Gerald Schwetner. They will negotiate a non-standard agreement for what that looks like. Wastewater, we are doing feasibility right now as far as where in the system we can get them in and what it looks like as far as system upgrades goes. The intent is to do single-family residential with some commercial frontage, which is fitting. It'll be neighborhood serving commercial, right across from the school, right across from the neighborhood, in the neighborhood. I'm more than happy to answer any questions or concerns if there are any.
One quick question.
Yes, sir.
Current capacity of our plant, are we getting close to maxing it with these additions coming on, or?
So our current plant is rated for 2 MGD. We're pushing a little over 1, so we have a lot of capacity left. We are getting to the point where we need to start looking at expanding or building a new one. You'll see in the budget that there is a line item for some CIP design that goes into that, and we're gonna have to figure out if we need to expand or build a new one, what that looks like in the next year so that we have a path forward. But today, we don't have capacity concerns.
I would just like to make a suggestion on 3.3. That we really don't have a lot of information on
3.3?
Excuse me, on 3.2, we're on 3.2.
One?
Oh,
3.1.
3.1.
Yeah.
But this annexation still, it goes to 3.1. And it's a suggestion that we do a workshop or two before we actually bring this up to the folks or the council, and we have some information on it.
So-
Okay, I have no information on it and don't receive much information as to exactly what these 79 acres are, actually even where they are. No, at typical, we always get these things 2 days before, and we have to go through the whole thing. So a workshop or two wouldn't be bad.
So if I may, last month it was in the packet, their annexation and checklist and application showing a map with the.
And I saw that, and I saw some of the ones that they missed, and what I'm trying to explain to you is that we haven't been given adequate information, and that is the majority of the council to make a decision on this. Okay, so I would like to have a workshop. It is the same thing, I'm happy we've got a budget proposed in here, but this is the first time council is looking at that proposed budget. And we should have workshops on that budget as well as every other city does. So, again, I'm suggesting on 3.1 that we have some workshops and schedule, and we can do that now. And I'm willing to put 2 workshops together next week.
The track is spelled out in our packet.
You know, okay, it doesn't matter, I'm asking for workshops, as council does not have the information that they need. And it's the majority of the council I'd like to bring up again, that doesn't have this information, so we can.
What information would you?
Wait, this, well, I can't make a motion to this, is that correct?
The motion.
So you hearing, public hearing.
Okay, so if this is gonna come up in public hearing?
This
Well, then can I make a motion to it?
No.
So we're here looking at it. I'm trying to make a big deal out of it. We need information, and that information should be done in workshop.
From a department standpoint, what information are you looking for that I can provide you in advance to feel more comfortable moving forward?
No.
Annexation is a legislative process. It is governed by Texas
I
local government code.
understand that, okay?
This is not their zoning, this just expands our jurisdiction.
Let me just remind you that the majority of the council makes that decision. And we have the flexibility to make it. And so the flexibility is, I would like to see a couple workshops. I would like to see more information coming to council.
What
I don't think
information?
it's fair that I have to go through every one of these. I'm happy we've got the first look at our budget. But again, the majority of council isn't happy with the fact we haven't had workshops.
So I can't speak for the budget, that is
Well,
not my wheelhouse, but
I
as far as this
understand.
annexation goes, what information are you looking for?
Okay, right now, I'm looking for information on how to get workshops on this before I make a decision. Can you get that to me?
But that's why we're having this meeting right here, so you can ask the questions to find out whatever questions you may have.
Well,
If you don't have any questions now, what questions are you going to have?
I think a workshop,
in a
open to the
workshop.
public, allows the public to contribute to it as well.
The public received notice,
Yeah.
this was published in the
And again,
newspaper,
this is
mail
notice.
outs went out.
Okay, I'll remind council again, that the majority has the ability to ask for that information. You had it last month. And if I can't, say it again?
You had it last month.
Well, yeah, are you a member of?
Let's
Before we do that,
We're in a public hearing right now,
yeah,
okay? We're not talking about the budget yet. So let's just everybody calm down a little bit, because I'm part of the majority of the council too. What if we take the time to do a public hearing, what are we hoping to get? Help me out here.
okay, information on this 79 acres, I know nothing about it, okay? I don't know what intentions are, I don't know who the owners are, I will be frank and honest. I've got 2 days to look at this, and I'm not exactly sure where or what and how it will affect the school, how it will affect other projects that we have going on. What other projects do we have going on that are relative to this? Our council does not have that information. If you can get that, and we can have a workshop or something to let us know of all what it looks like and the chance that we can go out there and take.
Do you know what development would look like at all?
We have worked through, so before anything comes before you guys, we work through pre-development meetings. We see what they're intending to do, we
Okay,
discuss
who
what happens.
attends the development meeting?
City staff, our engineers representative there, we
And
have
how does
building
that
involved,
get transmitted
utilities.
to city council?
That's the applications you see before you, that's the items you see before you.
And
We
a
have
lot
a
of the
comprehensive
applications,
plan.
they didn't meet and didn't do things, and I'm going, well, I don't even know what that's about.
This is
And I've got 2
strictly
days'
annexation.
notice to do this.
This is just the annexation.
I understand what you're saying, and then the question becomes, why do we want power to annex? So we have control of the property, well, we, when you have the information to council, it becomes the staff driving that information, driving the plan, when it disregards what the majority of council wants to accomplish. So I'm not gonna change that. Then, council says it wants it.
Okay.
Jordan, the plans, do they meet the zoning?
This is not even regarding zoning yet.
Right.
So this is the first step in the process. They have made their intentions very clear. They want to do residential. We requested commercial because it's been very clearly stated that we need to find a balance and start incorporating more commercial. They have been above and beyond meeting us halfway on what this looks like. And next month, if this annexation goes through, you'll see the zoning, you'll see the land use plan, you'll see that information. They just were not ready to do both at the same time, and that's their option as the property owner.
This is the first step of a lot of steps, right?
Exactly.
This
So even if we
development-
annex it, all the plans are gonna come in front of us to approve.
Development is a 6-month process. You guys will see all of these steps come before you. There's not a thing that can get pushed through without you guys seeing it
Well,
until it's
I'll-
already approved and we're in construction plans.
Mm.
Now, if we don't annex it, we have no control and they can do whatever they want to there, kind of like across the highway.
Just
Which
like
they didn't do.
QT, just like QT. So keep on.
Y'all, any input on concerns, worries?
We could put one together next week, an hour and a half, it's not a big deal. Okay, you have to take some time and have to inform council, and it doesn't take 5 of us to be there.
I'm more than happy to send whatever information you're looking for, but without knowing what information that is, we can't send it.
Okay, well, maybe we'll spell it out and then have that happen, okay, as soon as you can do it. I'll get it to you. Anything else?
But just, in the public hearing is for people to ask questions and get answers. If you
Okay,
have
well,
questions
it's a
about it,
sad thing when
you know,
council
right.
has to ask those questions. So.
What questions do you, the rest of the
Okay.
council, what do you
Right.
not have? What do
We
you
have
not
no
have?
information on it, okay? No,
Who,
we don't have-
who, you or the rest
No,
of council?
I know.
Everybody's kind of relax a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, let's kind of take a look at closure here.
Mhm.
I want to be real careful that we don't overstep our bounds and try doing our employees' jobs too. I mean, we're elected officials, we look at the big picture, their job is to be down there in the trenches and on the facts.
I agree with that, I do. But I also think that it's a real good excuse to say that it's micromanaging when Staff doesn't deliver the information to council. Some are privy to it, most aren't. And again, it becomes a question of majority. Now, we're in a situation that I look at now, and I am worried about. I look at what's going on in the federal government, and I look at things I cannot believe. I'm trying to relate it to here, and it is on the topic. And I look at these things and I say, when the government's people are the ones that are driving the situation, we've got a problem.
Okay,
The elected officials are not representing the people by not having the information.
Right, I understand.
So I stick. with
Right now,
that.
I'm hearing from 1 out of 5 council members that they have a concern.
Then, I mean, if I
So
could
when
make
you're
it-
talking about you're
Yeah.
speaking for the majority,
Yeah.
it would be good to know if you're
Okay.
speaking for other
Fine.
council members
Fine.
here.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, you're running the meeting. you
I'm
know,
trying to.
But you're not entitled to your own facts. So we can, can't make them up. Busy a long night.
Did you have any public input or questions with
No.
no cards?
I think it does favor to be able to have some control, since it's already adjacent to our city limits. Without annexing, we have no control over what goes on.
Yeah, I keep hearing that, but if it's a question of us driving a vision that we want to see, then.
We can't drive any vision if we don't annex it.
That's exactly right. And so.
So then it puts something
So
going
if
up
you
against
come
our city
from-
limits
if you
that we
come
may or may
from
not
the-
like.
If you come from the citizen, to look at that, and it would come to council, so that.
It won't come to council, it's an EP judgment.
I'm going to tell you, council needs one recommendation. Over again.
Okay.
I guess my concern is if we start doing something like that, we're gonna shut down people wanting to buy property and build.
Yes.
And, you know, I can't tell anybody what to buy and how to build it. And they're the ones that are bringing the growth here. And all we can do is control it.
Now, and that is exactly what's been being done, the developers, running the growth, and it has become a problem with MUDs, and I can go into.
We can't
all-
control the most.
I'm gonna try to say it again, by not allowing city council to flow into the city, having city administrators take care of the council's will. Council is voted in by the public, and to represent the public, money, taxation, oversight, etc., which is why I'm bringing the fact, it's nice to see a budget for the first time in a year, after saying that our budget previous was no good. You know, you have to start facing where we are. And we can either just blindly do things and allow staff to drive vision and be out of order. You can't close City Hall down. It belongs to every single one of these people. And every single one of these people gets the same right to vote. And when they vote, they expect that their vote counts. Well, I'll get it done. We'll leave it where it's at.
Okay. All right. This public hearing is closed. 3.2, discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding ordinance number 2024-0806-01, an ordinance for the annexation of 79.91 acres out of the Alicia Davis Survey, number 23, abstract number 172, situated in Williamson County.
I make a motion to approve ordinance number 2024-0806-01 as presented.
I'll second.
We have a motion on the floor and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay.
Nay.
Motion is approved, 4-1. Agenda item 3.3, public hearing. We're open this public hearing and discussion regarding the fiscal year 2024-2025 proposed budget. Our city manager is not here, so a lot of questions may not be answered. Let's start. Any questions, council members, you have?
Mayor, one of the questions I was gonna have, is if the local sales tax, if that were to be passed, by citizens, how is that then reflected in this budget? Where we, currently have it in place to where that, so it would be the next fiscal year?
Well, and so every 4 years, we have to come back and vote again on the sales tax.
But it's, for the vote this year?
Yes, and so
Yes.
So if
it's
that's
just
to be passed,
Yes, what's recommended is what's reflected in the budget presented.
so it wouldn't, if that were to be passed, would that go back to the EDC, correct? That's where it's, because that's where it's reallocated from.
May I, on that? So if the street maintenance does not pass, then it would go down in the sales tax the city would get. So if it is out for street maintenance and it fails, then instead of the 2 cent for the city to get, they would get 1.75. So it would fail. So she has it reflected as the street maintenance within here, so everything is allocated properly.
So it's allocated as it sits
As
currently?
it sits currently, yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Questions? No? Okay. And we are gonna have 2 public hearings of budget, so everybody's aware.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions you're talking about. And again, if I might make a suggestion, I might make it a motion maybe, that we have a workshop or 2 in between that. I'm gonna do it next week, week after, and I think we should get together. If we wanna pick the dates, today we can do it, okay? So would we like to try to get those dates nailed down, to have those workshops, so everybody can take a look at the direction that we're taking?
Would the public hearing be similar to the workshop? Because it allows us to ask questions?
I think, yeah, I think so. Isn't it,
Maybe
Brent?
we're scheduled to have another public hearing.
You know, what I'm trying to say is, again, the workshop, not the term, the public hearing. We want to have a workshop. I don't know whether people actually participate in those workshops, but in past workshops, it seems like they have.
3.3, she does say.
Yeah. I'm not opposed to having a workshop about the budget.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it would be smart to pick 2 of them in this month. And I mean, if I look at a calendar, I can see next week on a Wednesday, I can see a Wednesday, not necessarily the following week, but I think we can also bring some people who are familiar with past budgets and tasks to help us out to create the flow of what's been there. And people get an opportunity to see the direction that staff is changing generally.
Do we need to discuss this at the workshops now? Or-
Yeah, I mean,
I would propose that
and
maybe next week is too soon. If people need some more time to look over the budget,
Okay.
email Danielle any questions so that maybe she can, and that workshop won't go 4 hours, so email her with your questions. Give that a week, back and
And just as
forth.
long as we stuff
And
to
so
it,
then-
they don't have to be forever. I mean, just, and everybody may not want to attend. And there's always crippled with going to the workshops. I would like to do them in the afternoon. Not crippled. You know. Well, I don't mean that, I'm just trying to say that you.
I work out of town.
Yeah, so I mean, it's tough to do that. So, yeah, as long as we can get 2 of them in, I'm good with that. And I think we need a lot more.
If it works for council, I would propose workshops on the 15th and then 29th of August.
Well, from the 15th to 29th, gives enough time for you.
That way it gives us time to email
And
questions.
then we go from the 29th to the next Thursday.
Right, which is where we would then say, it would allow 2 workshops between now and September, or if it works now.
And now a matter
Just a
of
reminder
when.
about the Eastern Well appeal, current proposed dates for August 20th and 29th.
Right, it would be an evening, or that is the light, isn't it?
It could be if you want to, in case anybody has other obligations, maybe you want to stay for a certain amount of time.
Is that related to your engineering firm?
Okay. Stay on topic.
Well, I just,
What do we want to start with, at least the 15th, if it works for council? And then, if, from there, if we need a second one.
We need a second one, we can schedule one.
Everyone's schedule. Do we need a motion for that?
no, because we're not.
You don't want it, no.
You call it, so 15th?
Any other questions? All right, the public hearing is now closed. Moving on to consent agenda items.
Mayor, before we start, just looking through here, I would like to make a motion that we remove the items 4.5 and 4.6.
Further discussion?
And
4.6? 4.6.
7.1.
4.6.
4.6?
It's June, that was June.
We have a 4.6?
I thought you said,
Okay.
it's gonna be 5.5, okay, then we remove 5.5. And
Let's, we don't have a 5.5.
7.1.
That's not,
What is he looking at?
we're looking at the consent agenda.
okay, I'm looking at 71 and then it goes from 62. Consent. I'm talking about our regular.
Okay.
In the front file.
All right, let's get back on topic.
Okay, here, we are on topic.
We're discussing consent agenda items 4.1 to 4.5. Would people like to discuss any of them?
Yes, what I want to make a statement is, and I'm sorry that I screwed the numbers up, is that in looking at them, and you know, you can laugh all you want, but you get 2 days to look through everything. And it's not necessarily the easiest thing to manage through. So looking at the agenda, that I make a motion to remove 7.1 from closed executive session, that's the EDC. Closed executive session, and then we remove 8.
If you would like to do that, we can do that when we get to it. We're on consent agenda
Well,
items right now.
I understand. This is a regular consent item?
Regular.
It is. So I just wanted to say prior to, you don't have to go through those. So I can make that motion now, or I'll wait and make that motion. However you'd like to see it, guys.
We're on the consent agenda items.
Go ahead.
Okay.
What is going on?
So you would like to discuss 4.5?
No, I don't.
Okay. I'll accept the motion to approve.
Make the motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Unanimous. All right, moving on to regular agenda items. Agenda item 5.1, discussion, consideration, of possible action regarding ordinance number 2024 -0806-04, an ordinance of the city of Gerald, Texas, ordering a general election on Tuesday, November 5th, 2024 for the election of the mayor, Alderman Place 1, and Alderman Place 2 for said city, providing for the participation by the city in agreement with Williams County Elections Administrator and other participating entities, allowing Williams County to handle such elections, providing for the conduct of the election, resolving other matters incident and related to such election, and providing for an effective date.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to approve and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approved 5-0. Agenda item 5.2, discussion, consideration, of possible action regarding ordinance number 2024-0806-05, an ordinance of the city of Gerald, Texas, ordering a special election on Tuesday, November 5th, 2024, for the reauthorization of local sales and use tax at the rate of 1/4%, to continue providing revenue for maintenance and repair of municipal streets for said city, providing for the participation by city in agreement with Williams County Elections Administrator and other participating entities, allowing Williams County to handle such elections, providing the conduct of the election, resolving other matters incident and related to such election, and providing for an effective date.
Motion to approve ordinance number 2024-08-06-05.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Unanimous. Agenda item 5.3, discussion, consideration, and possible action. Ordinance number 2024-0806-06, an ordinance authorizing the execution of a franchise agreement between the City of Gerald and Atmos Energy Corporation for the installation, operation, and maintenance of gas pipelines and equipment.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Unanimous. All right, 5.4, discussion, consideration, and possible action to set the preliminary tax rate for the fiscal year 2024-2025 annual budget and setting the date to hold a public hearing. And this is going to have to take a record vote, so individual votes by each members. You can always sit.
Mayor, do you know if that's the minimum or that's the maximum before you have to go out for the vote?
So what we're setting now is the maximum that we cannot go over, but we can go under
Without
that.
going too special for an election. Is that correct or not, or are we asking you to go for it?
What do you,
No, we're just setting the preliminary tax rate that's going to be sent out
Okay,
to
I
the
guess that's
citizens.
the-
And if we go over a certain
Yeah.
amount, then we have to put it up for a vote. Okay, so proposed tax rate is 0.394004. It's a 2-cent decrease from last year's rate.
Mayor, make a motion to approve the preliminary tax rate for fiscal year 2024-2025, not to exceed 0.394004, with a public hearing on September 3rd, 2024.
And now you have to go through roll call?
Yes.
4.
4?
4.
Read back as 4. Councilmember Seidel.
I need a second.
Okay, second. But you have Daniel, yeah.
You seconded it. Yep. Councilwoman Clausen
4.
is 4. Councilman Marsh, 4. And Councilman Islas, 4. Moving on to agenda item number 6, discussion items. Agenda item 6.1, discussion to schedule a special call meeting in August regarding a consultation with the city attorney for Eastern Wealth Development. Go ahead. Do you have any? No, Sarah.
Yeah, so, I think that's okay. We initially were going to, have this on August 13th, but I think not enough people were available, so we're just trying to figure out a day that a quorum of council members is available to attend that hearing. I sent an email proposing the 20th and the 29th, so, because those are days that Art is available for sure. It would probably be both of us, but at the very least it would be Art. So if you guys had any other suggestions for when you're all available, we can see if we can work around that. But,
Again, I just want to know what the nature of that was.
sorry?
Is it the nature of this meeting?
So there was a cost sharing agreement between the city and the developer of the Eastern Wells development. The developer does not agree with the cost sharing agreement, and they wanted to file an appeal to city council
Right.
to hear
So
on
basically,
whether.
it's,
Right,
okay. Just want to know.
so there's 29th for everybody, is that a day that we have a quorum?
I think we tentatively could say the 29th. I don't know if
What day is
everybody.
the 29th?
I think it's a Thursday. It's a Thursday.
All right.
Okay, it's good. Put that down.
All right.
What time?
I don't know, it's a Thursday.
I don't know. We're normally 7 p.m., so I don't know if that works for y'all. I know your schedule doesn't.
And will you send that RSVP thing?
Yes.
All right, agenda item 6.2, discussion regarding rescheduling the October 1st, 2024 city council meeting to October 8th, 2024 due to National Night Out.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
I don't think we need to make a motion on this one and to approve it, but everybody's good with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to move the October 8th, 2024, or October 1st, 2024 meeting to October 8th. All right, agenda item number 7.
You know, I want to make a motion right now to move that to the agenda. Under 7.1, leaves no necessitation for 8.1. And furthermore, I would like to make an amendment to that motion that we bring back, because of the confusion as to an amendment made by Tom Claus, that we bring back item 4.4 and 4.5 from the June city council meeting that were pushed back to December. And I think more pertinent information has come up as to reasons why, and I want those to be brought back in our next council meeting.
Councilman Sal, what are you referencing in 4.4 and 4.5?
4.4, 4.5, you made an amendment to push it back to a month after the election, which I think we shouldn't interfere with that. I think we should bring that forward in our next meeting. Okay, bring them back because there was confusion as to why are we delaying this thing out there. So again, to clarify, we remove 7.1, 8.1, because there's no necessity for A1, and we're bringing back from the June city council meeting, rather than waiting till October or November. Item 4.4, all this is relevant, by the way, to the EDC and charters and things like that, for the public to understand. And there's been things that we need to straighten out, and I want them there next month.
Okay, so, would you like to make a motion?
I think I just made it, did I make that motion that way? Would you like me to make it a different way? I'll make a motion that we remove 7.1, no need for 8.1, and that we bring back from the June city council meeting, item 4.4 and item 4.5, which was all relative to the EDC. And I think we can take care of it in September. Council's ready to make a decision, and I think that's.
We have a motion on the floor. Any further discussion? We're trying to figure out what he's motioning.
Okay, break it down into two. You want to remove 7.1.
Yeah, remove 7.1, which also removes 7.8, so I mean, I don't want
Right,
to
so-
say that.
So why don't we do it in two separate motions in this?
Okay, again, first motion will be to remove 7.1 and 8.1 from that.
Okay, council.
That's our motion.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. We have further discussion about this motion. Wanting to remove 7.1, 8.1 from this agenda.
Second.
All right, we have a motion on the floor and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. All right, so we are going to remove 7.1 and 8.1.
And I furthermore made a motion to bring back 4.4 and 4.5, which had to do with the EDC. And we pushed it off only to bring it back in October. It was October time,
It was
December.
December of 2024, but for clarity to the public, I made a motion to table those agenda items. Those agenda items clearly read relation to the General Economic Development Corporation bylaws,
There was some confusion.
and
Well, there
it
was
was
some
related
confusion with that amendment.
to a city ordinance concerning the General Economic Development Corporation.
Well, I make a motion that we bring back 4.4, we do all of them in September. We take care of it at our next council.
Were all the members present at that meeting? Do you know?
It would be on
Were there some members that,
Then this was, you want to start that meeting?
yeah, you can say-
I had asked it, we were supposed to talk about it.
I make a motion, again, to remove, to bring back 4.4 from the June meeting.
You do realize that we could have actually had a real discussion about this if we would have went back there and discussed it? You not being at that meeting, not knowing what took place and what was talked about, I would have thought you would like to go into executive session and discuss it.
We have done this multiple
But-
times, and every time you come out and say, well, you know, maybe we can do this, maybe everybody can get along, maybe. Well, we can have, what's the sense of bringing things back in October and letting fire? Okay, let's bring it back to September, let's take care of it. If the council's ready to make a decision, okay, so why don't we just do that?
How are you gonna bring it back
Rather
in
than bringing
September?
it back
You said
again,
my
how are you
motion
gonna bring
originally
it
was in
back?
December.
How are you gonna bring it back?
I mean,
This
you
is the thing. How
just
you gonna bring it back?
discredited it based on the motion that I made in June.
So
why-
when do you
why-
think we should
why did you
address the
go early?
EDC situation?
Today.
I was happy to take a vote on all of it today. I guess I'm kind of confused. What's the end goal here?
I'm not sure.
Well,
The end goal is the status of DDC and a lot of other things that are tied into it that we've been working on for over, I have to say, over a year. And we don't have to keep tearing this apart. We need to get along for EDC needs to get along with city council, needs to get along with the city staff. And we've had issues for over a year with that. And we've had EDC people killed. So just get it done.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, can we accept a motion that is not on our agenda? Like,
You can't
just to
discuss,
bring
no,
this up?
it's not on the agenda, you can't discuss it.
Well, I mean, it's relative to it, right? I mean, it's.
It's not on the agenda, so it can't be
So
discussed.
send
We're
it.
not asking it to be considered today, we're asking for
Motion
it
in
to
a
be
meeting,
back in
it's not on the
September.
agenda.
But look, it is possible,
So what?
it
what
is
you-
possible for us to bring it back and just tell me right or wrong, if we don't do anything with that tonight, with the 4.4 and the 4.5, if we do nothing with those, we can request if there's a majority of council that we want that brought back to be brought back in September. Doesn't have to be done in this meeting.
Mayor, I asked for point of order. References to the 4.4, 4.5 aren't even spelled out in the agenda that he's referencing, so I'm gonna ask for point of order. We've already passed the motion.
Okay, that does not mean I can't bring it back next
I didn't say you
next
couldn't.
meeting. Well, all right, I'm just trying to say, I mean, look, you want to waste time, you want to take care of it?
I don't think we're trying to waste time.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know why we keep it going round and round with this for years. And at first, hey, we should just all get along. Well, that's not happening. And when you look at our budget, if you look carefully, you'll see perhaps what might be motivation to bring it back after the election. So,
Okay. All right, so we are going to pull 7.1 and 8.1. And with that, no further business?
no further business.
Okay. The General City Council is adjourned at 7:52 p.m.